The Seesaw Library contains a variety of ready-to-assign activities that can be easily integrated into various instructional routines or practices in your classroom. Let's learn how to integrate the lessons from this library into your classroom routines. We know how important research-based, standards-aligned, high-quality instruction is. It ensures students are supported in meeting their individual learning needs. We also know that repeated exposure to concepts through purposeful practice over multiple days builds mastery of key foundational skills that students need the most. In this training, you will learn how to integrate the standards-aligned, high-quality content from the Seesaw Library into any instructional routine. Using lessons with your whole class is a great way to get started with lessons and gradually release the learning into the hands of students. Let's take a look at the SEL Stories collection to start. In this collection, students explore social-emotional learning through interactive read-alouds. This is a great collection to use for whole class instruction. You can tap Present to Class to complete the interactive read-aloud together as a class. The purple pages contain the story you will read with your students. On the green slides, you will stop the read-aloud and discuss the question on the slide as a whole class, providing students with the opportunity to share their thoughts about what might happen in each story. As a whole class, you will facilitate a discussion related to the skill and practice using the multimodal tools to respond. Another way you can use lessons whole class is to use the instructional content as an introduction to a new topic or unit of study. For example, the STEAM Design Thinking collection includes an engaging video that introduces students to a topic. In the video, students are invited to join Gerald, an engineer, in his work to solve problems. Tap Present to Class to watch the instructional video as a whole class. After watching the video whole class, teachers engage students in a discussion to assess understanding of the concepts taught in the video. After the discussion, students go deeper with an informational text to learn new vocabulary and develop their knowledge on the topic. Then teachers can choose between 3 STEAM challenges for students to complete using the design thinking process. These can be done independently, with partners, or in a small group over the course of the week. Throughout this lesson, students are exploring the content in multidimensional ways, which deepens the learning and creates a more transferable understanding. Centers and stations are a deliberate time for students to engage in purposeful practice of a skill at their own level. Teachers that integrate lessons from the Seesaw Library into their centers or stations routines increase agency and engagement while ensuring students' needs are met. Seesaw lessons are flexible and allow teachers to easily differentiate instruction. To use lessons in centers or stations, start by teaching a whole class or small group lesson. Then designate 1 or more stations as Seesaw lesson stations for students to practice or reinforce the skill taught. The Numbers and Space collection promotes flexible thinking and builds confidence in math. Students build number sense by identifying, writing, composing, and counting with numbers 0 through 20 in multidimensional ways. In centers or stations, students can complete 1 or more activities each day and end the week with the Connect and Show What You Know activities. Simply schedule each activity to be assigned on the day you would like students to complete it. Don't forget, when assigning a lesson, you can select certain students or groups of students to assign it to, making differentiation during centers and stations easy. If students only complete some of the practice pages within an activity, they can save the activity as a draft and easily return to their work the following day. To continue working on a lesson, students tap on the To-Do section of their Activities tab and tap Finish Response to continue working. When all of the pages of an activity within the lesson have been completed at the center or station, students tap the green check to submit the activity to their teacher. Lessons make planning for centers and stations easy. Seesaw lessons are built to supplement and reinforce learning that is taking place in the classroom and can be used to provide students with purposeful practice during independent work time. To use lessons for independent practice, start with a whole class or small group mini lesson and then assign a lesson from the Seesaw Library to your students to complete independently while you support small groups or meet with students one-on-one. In the Fun Phonemes collection, students have multiple opportunities to practice phonemic awareness by following SoundHound to practice the consonant phonemes in the English language. This collection includes instructional content to support them independently on the skills they will need to complete this lesson. Begin by having the whole class watch Teacher Barnes and SoundHound model how to make sounds with their mouths in the introduction video. Then assign the practice activity of this lesson. There is another instructional video within the practice activity, so students can watch this to be reminded of how to make the sound when they are working independently. Make sure to schedule the apply activity to be assigned after students have completed the practice activity, and remind students they can rewatch the introduction video as well. Then schedule the connect activity to be assigned after students have completed the apply activity. And finally, schedule the show what you know activity that can be used as an assessment to be assigned at the end of the week. After watching the instructional video within the practice activity, students get repeated opportunities to practice the skill independently. They listen to, make, identify, see examples, and match the sound that they are learning about. Everything they need to independently practice the skill is included in the activity of this lesson. Scaffolds are built into each lesson to support learning independently. Each page contains audio directions in both English and Spanish to ensure students know what they are supposed to do. Lessons contain instructional content that allows students to learn important foundational skills, and when students use Seesaw's multimodal learning tools, they can make their thinking visible. Lessons guarantee that all students get purposeful practice of key foundational skills during independent practice time. You did it! You learned how to integrate high-quality, standards-aligned lessons from the Seesaw Library into your daily classroom routines. Thank you for learning with us today. You can find more free trainings in our Learning Hub at learn.seesaw.me or at web.seesaw.me/training. See you again soon here at Seesaw.